Hi there, this is Ruth. I am 20 weeks and 1 day today, so we have just passed the tipped over into the just past the halfway mark, which is very cool. The baby apparently now is the size of about a large banana, which sounds massive to me, but apparently isn't. You know, it's going to get an awful lot bigger. It's sort of still quite skinny, although it's completely fully formed. It's still quite skinny, and you know, it's now got to build up kind of fat deposits under the skin to kind of plump it out a bit, make it look a little bit more like a cute newborn baby. So it will get a lot bigger. This is the last week that it's actually going to be measured from crown to rump, because obviously babies are sort of very curled up. You know, sort of in the fetal position. So to begin with, in the first half of the pregnancy, they measure it from crown to rump because its legs are kind of curled right the way around. It's very difficult to measure. But now it's big enough to, or almost big enough to be measured from crown to heel. So that's very exciting. It apparently can taste almost everything that you're eating now. It's kind of practicing swallowing. You know, sort of the amniotic fluid. And obviously it doesn't gain nourishment from that, but it can taste the different tastes that are in there. So I've kind of been trying to eat a really kind of broad, varied diet so that, because apparently the things that it tastes in the womb, it familiarises itself and develops a taste for that certain type of food once it's out. So if you want it to like carrots and broccoli, then eat lots of carrots and broccoli, and I'm sure it will. So I've been kind of giving that a go this week. In terms of new symptoms, I was experiencing quite a lot of kind of round ligament pain and stuff. I think sort of towards the beginning, you know, sort of last week. The baby must have just been going through a growing spurt or something, probably right around the time I've sort of felt it move, just after that. So I was kind of, you know, I sort of caught myself every time I moved positions on a chair or a sofa, used my stomach muscles sort of suddenly, or I sneezed or coughed, then it sort of sent shooting pains right the way, you know, sort of down the sides of my abdomen. But that has eased. I haven't had any of that for the last couple of days. So the baby's obviously steadying in its growth or something at the moment. Either that or just, you know, my organs have kind of moved enough, you know, sort of for the time being. The things that I've noticed different in my body, sort of visually, I haven't been getting any stretch marks yet. So I don't think I'm quite big enough to get any stretch marks, but I've been trying to take kind of preventative action, and every time I have a bath or a shower, I rub any kind of thick moisturiser into it, whatever I've got to hand. I'm using cocoa butter at the moment, so I you know, get a large dollop and I rub it kind of all over my tummy, all over my boobs, and kind of the tops of my legs. Now, apparently, if you're predisposed to getting stretch marks, then there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. So, you know, so I still might get them, but I like to think that I'm doing all I can to kind of avoid them. Not that it would be that bad to have them, but apparently the rubbing in the lotion does really help ease the discomfort. Apparently when it stretches, it kind of gets quite itchy and uncomfortable, you know, where the skin is under quite a lot of pressure. So that helps to ease that anyway. So, you know, it's kind of a good idea to use lotion anyway. So I've been doing that. This isn't new, but something that has become a lot more noticeable is that you pregnant women carry 20 to 40% extra blood. So, you know, they grow all this extra blood, you know, obviously to carry nutrients to the fetus and, you know, kind of all around your expanding body and things like that. So you have all kinds of new blood vessels, you know, that are either, you know, more visible or, you know, kind of expanding or whatever. And that I got sort of quite a few weeks ago, but I've really noticed them this week, especially kind of all around my boobs. They're like they're crisscrossing all across my boobs, and also, which is kind of new, is I can really see them down kind of this area on both sides of my tummy. So kind of down sort of each side of my belly. And I can only assume that's because that's where the skin is stretching, and it's kind of a bit more translucent. But I just thought it was worth a mention. So anybody else out there who's experiencing that, didn't think that there was anything wrong or anything. I think my tummy has grown this week, and not just because of the way it looks, but the way I feel in bed. Obviously, you're not supposed to sleep from this point onwards, really, in your pregnancy. You're not supposed to sleep on your back because the weight of the uterus and the baby and everything kind of compresses down, kind of all your organs, and is likely to put pressure on one of the main blood vessels that carries blood to your legs, the vena cava. So you're not supposed to lay on your back, and for obvious reasons you can't really lay on your tummy for all that long, just because it's not that comfortable as your tummy grows. And I've noticed that I can't sleep on, I used to kind of sort of be on my side, but sort of be on my tummy, like cock my leg up a little bit to keep me steady. And I can't even do that anymore. So I've had to start sleeping with a pillow next to me, and sort of, with my leg bent over on top of the pillow, and that just kind of takes the pressure off, my tummy for the night. So that's something that I've kind of experimented with before, but I've really found that I need to start doing this week. The fatigue that I was experiencing has been slowly but surely lifting, but this is the first week where I've really felt a lot more energetic, and I've sort of been able to get back to my sort of early morning routines and stuff. So I'm sort of getting up at the same time I was, when I was working, and getting up at the same time as my husband and things like that, which is much better. I've had a few questions actually about symptoms. One of them was about whether or not I'm getting a lot more gassy, and I am definitely, but I'm really really burpy. So whenever I eat or drink anything, I think I don't know what it is that makes you so much more burpy. You must swallow a lot more air with your food and drink and things. But I'm definitely I found that I'm definitely sort of needing to kind of burp a lot after that. Not so much with kind of passing gas or anything. I mean, obviously I do, but not more than I was before, I don't think. But I've had a look into it, and apparently that's a very very common side effect of pregnancy. So if that's what you're experiencing, then you're certainly not alone, so don't worry about that. And I think that's about it. I've sort of, again, not really getting that many symptoms at the moment. I've been feeling the baby move loads recently, which is good. When I did my update last week, the baby I was just at the beginnings of sort of feeling it move, and obviously I still am at the beginnings of feeling it move, but we have days where it moves a lot, and I can really feel it wriggling about in there. So it's obviously getting stronger and a bit bigger. I'm obviously not at the point where I can start, where it's got a routine, or I can monitor it or anything like that. But it's kind of nice to kind of sit there and like when you've eaten something or whatever, then the baby obviously kind of gets a surge of energy, and when there's kind of noise, some kind of noise, and the baby will react to it and stuff like that. So that's really nice for that interaction to have started going between us, because, when I feel it moving, then, I sort of sit and speak to it and ask it what's going on and stuff like that. So that's been really nice. And I have started my reading into kind of birthing options and things like that, which I will talk about more next week. I've just started a book on hypnobirthing, also known as the Mongan method. So I'm just kind of educating myself about that at the moment. It seems to be really speaking to me, but I'll go into more detail about that next week. So that's me for now. If you've got any more questions, please do let me know. I'm happy to answer anything you may be wondering about. And I hope you've enjoyed my latest update. Oh, Tommy. Right, so like I said, I think I am bigger this week, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Let's move this chair out of the way. So, ooh. So you can see it's getting a lot rounder there now. It's kind of going out right from the middle. That's on the other side. So I think that is a lot bigger than last week. And that's it without the shirt, if you can see it. So just sort of, you can see the roundness here. And that's all kind of baby belly. And I think it's kind of starting to protrude out in the middle now, because the uterus has reached my belly button. So although I've still got an innie at the moment, apparently that won't last long. And in the next couple of weeks, as my uterus kind of rises up beyond the belly button, then it will kind of pop out. So I think that's why I'm getting a lot rounder, because it's it's all reached the middle of my belly, and I think that's when you really start to look, like you're carrying all your weight at the front there. So yes, that's me. And like I said, do sort of comment and ask me any questions, and I'll do my best to get back to absolutely everyone. So speak to you next week.